Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP and ISO cryptocurrencies. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about a lot of things in this video. We're going to start with the economy because I think we're on the verge of a new financial system. We're going to talk about ISO and we'll talk about crypto as well. It's Saturday. I like to change things up. And I'm doing this video because over the course of the last 3 months, I noticed something changing, and it's been changing very fast. I'm a small business owner and I have my customers purchase their equipment. Most of the time they do it with a credit card, and that's fine. But the installation, they always paid in check or cash. Now all of a sudden I have to accept credit cards even for my installation fees on the equipment that I'm installing. And I think it's because we're watching more and more people fall into debt. And I've noticed that trend happening over time. And it's happening on a very large scale as well. I see people buying houses I know they can't afford, but buying brand new vehicles that they cannot afford. And the banks are giving bad loans as well. But now all of a sudden the system's starting to fall apart and they're starting to tighten things down. Credit crisis is about to trigger a flood of bankruptcies as banks warn about serious risk. This comes from XR Patriot. In the depths of the financial world, a storm is brewing, and it's not just any storm. It's the kind that has the potential to reshape the lives of millions, triggering a flood of bankruptcies and job losses that could plunge the United States into an economic nightmare. Brace yourselves because the credit crisis is upon us, and it's far worse than you might think. And this is not coming from the realm of conspiracy theories. Wall Street is warning. Picture this: America's largest banks are gripped by fear, and for good reason. Rising loan delinquencies and defaults have them sweating bullets. To mitigate their losses, they are tightening their belts, slashing lending to both businesses and consumers. I said in a couple videos back that being a small business owner in the United States is becoming harder and harder. I don't want to borrow any money from the bank, and here's the scariest reason why I won't do it. They always want some kind of real estate collateral, something of value. So if I was to put that up and I took the money from the bank, what happens if that bank gets liquidated? Or what happens if they lock the door and do a bail-in? What would happen to my property? Nobody really knows what would happen in that situation. And I tried to find out. I even asked lawyers what would happen in that situation. And they said you would have to find out after it happens, pretty much. But FDIC does not have the money to protect every single person in America's money. And that's another scary thing, because they talked about bail-ins in the past, which means they expect them to happen at some point in the future. Now, this comes from Aaron Day 2024, and I wanted to share this with you as well. The Bank Run Manifesto. Fellow Americans, the time has come for us to unite and take a stand against the encroaching threats of World War III, financial collapse, political persecution, censorship, and crypto bans. We're going to start with the verge of World War III. I don't think we will see World War III. I think we are in a currency war right now. The U.S. wants to keep the U.S. dollar relevant. At the same time, we have the BRICS coming to de-dollarize the United States, take down the U.S. dollar. And at the same time, we have a government that cannot stop spending. So the U.S. dollar keeps losing value time and time again. But then there's the financial collapse. The U.S. dollar is on the verge of collapse due to economic mismanagement, unsustainable debt, and government corruption. By embracing self-custody, crypto, gold, and silver, we can protect ourselves and demand a new, more equitable financial system. And the reason that I buy crypto instead of keeping money in a bank account is because I believe in crypto more. I believe when this current system comes crashing to the bottom, crypto is going to rise in value. I still don't think we will be cashing out in US dollars when people are ready to cash out their crypto. Then there's political persecution. The recent arrest of former President Trump on hush money charges highlights the abuse of power at play. Protests have been manipulated, but a bank run sends an unmistakable message: overreach will not be tolerated. Like Trump or not, the guy actually cared about America. That's the way I look at it. Censorship. Douglas Mackey's trial for posting a meme and the proposed Restrict Act illustrated the erosion of our First Amendment rights. By defunding the institutions behind these attacks, we can resist the encroaching tyranny. And you know, they always want to come after the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, they're always trying to silence people as well. You take notice, all the people in power always want to keep everyone else quiet unless they agree with them. Crackdown on cryptocurrency. Congress will not willingly relinquish its control over fiat money. By embracing crypto, gold, and silver for day-to-day commerce, we can challenge this monopoly and secure our freedom. Like I always said, if you invest in these ISO cryptocurrencies, XRP, XLM, XDC, maybe you could set yourself free in the future by enriching yourself now. But either way you look at it, you want to get rich off of this. This is the fourth industrial revolution. You got to take advantage of it while you still can. But this current system is falling apart because most people are doing exactly what the United States government is doing. We're going into debt. They're going into debt. At the same time, you have the Fed raising interest rates to slow down inflation, which they created in the first place. Boom. ISO 222 payment adoption migration SWIFT coexistence period will end when? November 2025. TikTok, ladies, mark your calendars. You know, everybody wants you to believe you have until 2025 to get invested. And I always try to tell people, do not follow that because we are still going to have banks go live on November 19th of this month. It's only the Eurozone that has been postponed until April of next year. And we don't even know what kind of value is going to come from that out of the gate. Maybe no value will come from it. Maybe a substantial amount of value will come from it. But you want to be prepared either way. How many times has the ISO deadline been changed or delayed? Aspen Extra, documenting chronologically why the introduction of ISO has been accompanied by a string of delays for over 3 years. It started all the way back in March of 2020. I remember back then when it didn't go live, people were saying, I told you ISO was nothing but a scam. And then it turned into conspiracy theory. But here we are now in 2023. And in October, the European Payments Council postponed the migration of SEPA payment schemes to the 2019 version of ISO by 4 months to March, after concluding that at least 2 large SEPA countries couldn't be guaranteed to make the original November deadline. But that is only in the Eurozone. We still are going to see other banks go live. Major announcement from European Central Bank. The wave of messages adopted in 2025 will be small, as most will be implemented by most actors November 2023. So you don't have until 2025. And this is going to happen in waves. They talk about waves here. So maybe the first wave will happen after November 19th. And that'll push the price of these cryptocurrencies upward. Then a second wave will happen at some point in 2024, push the price even higher. Then the final wave will come in 2025 and push them even higher yet. But we have to wait and see what happens around that. One thing I do know, though, is if you look around the real world right now, real world events are playing a major factor in what's going on in crypto. Now remember this, 99% of the market will be disappearing for good. Handful of asset-backed coins will be on the market. You can't initiate a new system before you destroy the previous one. Now, these 5 cryptocurrencies were always just the ISO coins. It was never supposed to be beyond these 5 originally. And they were supposed to be backed by gold, silver, copper, palladium, and iridium. But I always said XRP does not need to be backed by gold. Stellar does not need to be backed by silver. XDC doesn't need to be backed by copper, but they have to be at a high value to move value on a daily basis. Like XRP, if it's moving the value of gold, it cannot be sitting at 60 cents. It would have to be at a much, much higher price. But this is the new list. So now you see XLM, HBAR, IOTA, XDC, XRP, ALGO, and QNT. But you could also add Casper, DAG, Nexera. There's probably a few others I'm missing as well. But this is where you want to invest your money. And all it takes is just investing in these cryptocurrencies, sitting back, doing nothing, and all of a sudden you will watch yourself get very rich. When I make XRP videos or XLM videos or HBAR videos, I always say you're already rich. We're just waiting for it to happen. And it's going to happen because the current system's going to come crashing down. The new system's going to rise. And these cryptocurrencies are going to be used inside of transactions on a daily basis. And you want to prepare now for that. Patience and accumulation for generational wealth. And that's what you can accomplish by making those investments. And you don't want to overinvest. You just want to invest whatever you could afford to lose. It'll help you stay patient until we get there. But the next 12 to 18 months are going to be a very incredible time inside of crypto. And you definitely want to be here for that. Because as the current system falls apart, we are going to watch these cryptocurrencies rise like never before. Stay patient, stay positive. Let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.